Here's a brutal truth. 99% of men sabotage attraction without realizing it. But once you understand these 7 psychological keys, everything changes. Most guys don't realize this, but the moment they start interacting with a woman, the outcome is almost already decided. Not because women are impossible to understand, not because dating is unfair, but because men approach connection like it's some kind of brute force mission. They rush, they push, they try too hard, and they assume desire works like a switch you flip by being loud, confident, or persistent. But it doesn't. Attraction is more like a sequence, a combination lock, not something you break open by force. And when men skip steps, speed through interactions, or rely on the same bland compliments she's heard since high school, they accidentally trigger the very thing they're trying to avoid, her defenses. Not because she dislikes them, but because the approach feels generic, rushed, or insincere. Today, I want to walk you through a different way of connecting. Not tricks. Not manipulation. Not corny lines. But 7 psychological keys to understanding how connection actually unfolds inside her mind. Use them responsibly. Because when you understand how people, men and women, actually process interest, curiosity, and trust, things start to make sense. Conversations flow. Tension becomes natural. And authenticity replaces pressure. Before we dive in, hit the like button. It genuinely helps the video reach more people. And if you're new here, subscribe so you never miss content like this. Also, drop your city in the comments. I love seeing where everyone's watching from. Key number 1, the mind. The first lock is the toughest one. Her mind. This includes her logical thinking, her social instincts, her past experiences, and the filters she's built over her life. And the truth is, everyone, men and women, uses these mental filters to sort the world into categories. Safe/not safe, interesting/boring, authentic/performative. Most guys try to get past this filter with the wrong tool, a physical compliment. Your eyes are beautiful. You look great. You're stunning. Nothing wrong with these words. But to her, they're noise. She's heard them countless times. They don't reveal anything about you or show any real awareness of her. They feel like you're trying to access her emotional world through the shallowest doorway. A genuine connection starts differently. It starts with showing interest in her mind, her thoughts, her ideas, her perspective. And no, that doesn't mean pretending to be deep. It just means paying attention. An effective way to do this is with what I call the intellectual compliment. A comment about the way she thinks, not the way she looks. And here's the simple formula. I like the way you... plus something she actually did. For example, I like the way you explain things. You make complicated ideas sound simple. Or, I love how you see connections most people would overlook. Or, that perspective you just shared. Honestly, I've never heard anyone say it like that. These land differently. Why? Because physical compliments praise something she didn't choose, her genetics. But an intellectual compliment praises something she did choose, her effort, her worldview, her mind. You're no longer every other guy. You're someone who pays attention. Someone who listens. Someone who sees beyond the surface. When you do this right, you're not flattering her, you're connecting with her. And her defenses, the ones that protect her from insincere interactions, start to relax naturally. That's the first key turned. Key number 2, the ego. If her mind is the outer wall, her ego is the guard standing right behind the gate. This guard isn't about arrogance. It's simply the part of her brain that asks, who is this person? Do they respect themselves? Are they here to impress me or to meet me? Most men fail here because they try to win her over by over-validating her. You're perfect. I'd do anything for a woman like you. I can't believe you're even talking to me. This doesn't boost you in her eyes. It lowers you. You become a fan, not a potential partner. And no one, man or woman, is attracted to someone they subconsciously rank beneath them. That's where light provocation comes in. Not teasing, not nagging, not insults. Just a small, playful challenge that signals, I'm not putting you on a pedestal. For example, if she's talking about how everyone wants her attention, you can say, sounds exhausting. Must get boring having people agree with you all the time. Or if she reveals a cute but dramatic habit, you might say, you know you're a little dramatic, right? It's entertaining, but I'm definitely not falling for it. These comments work because they strike a balance. Half admiration, half challenge. They show you're not intimidated. You're not starstruck. You're engaged. A light provocation tells her ego, this person sees me, but they're not worshiping me. That's interesting. Delivered with warmth and a hint of irony, it creates curiosity. Curiosity creates intrigue. Intrigue creates emotional momentum. And now the second lock opens. Key number 3, the imagination. Once her mind is engaged and her ego is balanced, you enter one of the most powerful parts of human attraction, imagination. Most people think attraction is physical. But truthfully, it starts in the mind long before any physical moment ever happens. You're not building desire. You're building anticipation. How? By using sensory storytelling, what I call verbal atmosphere. Instead of saying, I like the beach, you say, there's something about lying on warm sand while the evening breeze cools your skin. It's such a calming contrast. Instead of saying, I like coffee, you say, there's nothing like holding a warm mug in your hands on a cold morning. That first deep inhale, man, it hits your whole body at once. These descriptions do something important. They make her feel something, not just hear something. When you use sensory language, warm, cool, soft, heavy, crisp, smooth, her imagination activates. Her brain automatically simulates the sensations. And no, you're not being explicit. You're being vivid. A great conversationalist doesn't talk about interesting things. He makes his listener experience the moment through words. When done naturally, this shifts your interaction from logical to emotional, from thinking to feeling, from conversation to atmosphere. That third lock? It opens quietly, almost without her noticing. Key number 4, boundaries. By this point, you've created mental safety, emotional intrigue, and imaginative warmth. But before any deeper connection can form, one thing matters above all: respecting her boundaries. And that means taking things slowly, lightly, and naturally. The fourth key is non-romantic, socially normal touch. Something simple like guiding her through a doorway with a hand on her upper back, or touching her arm briefly while laughing at something funny she said. Nothing suggestive. Nothing lingering. Just normal human interaction that signals comfort and openness. This isn't about taking a step forward. It's about communicating. I'm present. I'm comfortable. And I respect your space. If she tenses or pulls back, you ease off, zero drama. If she reacts positively, relaxed posture, continued eye contact, leaning in slightly, you know the communication is flowing both ways. Boundaries aren't obstacles. They're guideposts. And this step ensures you're moving respectfully and at the right pace for both of you. Key number 5, instinct. Up to this point, everything you've done has been subtle, conversational, and grounded in comfort. Now, you're entering the territory where attraction becomes less intellectual and more instinctive. Most guys get access to light physical contact and immediately jump to the most obvious areas: waist, hips, shoulders. They get too direct too fast, and the moment becomes awkward or pressured. The truth is, instinctive attraction doesn't come from obvious gestures. It comes from unexpected softness. Small, natural, Non-obvious interactions that activate deeper emotional wiring. Not manipulative, not forceful, just biologically intuitive. Think about certain areas of the body that are rarely touched by strangers, areas associated with trust and vulnerability, places like the back of the neck, the inside of the forearm, or even the space behind the knee when sitting close. You're not touching these areas deliberately or dramatically. You're simply being observant and using natural, situational moments to create subtle sparks. For example, if you're sitting close and you shift your posture, your knee might brush the back of hers for a second. You're not doing anything. You're just allowing closeness to unfold. Or if she has something on her shoulder, you gently brush it off. Not slow, not prolonged, just natural. Or if she adjusts her hair and something seems tangled near her collar, you help move it out of the way with a brief touch near her neck. These micro moments activate instinctive awareness. They tell her nervous system, "This person is close. This feels comfortable. This feels familiar." She starts to feel more attuned to you, more aware of your presence, more aware of the space the two of you share. You're not creating attraction. You're allowing attraction that already exists to reveal itself. When she begins initiating light touches too, adjusting your watch, fixing a piece of lint on your shirt, playfully tapping your arm, you know the fifth lock is open. Her instinct is now engaged. Key number 6, the moment. This next key is the moment where most men panic. They freeze. They overthink. They either rush forward or back out completely. And the biggest mistake? Asking for permission in a way that kills all emotional momentum. "Can I kiss you?" is a question that feels respectful on paper, but often interrupts the flow of the moment in reality. It shifts the decision to her, which puts her in her logical mind. And the logical mind is where attraction goes to sleep. But here's the thing, you don't take anything. You don't force anything. You don't assume anything. You simply read the moment. A long pause in conversation. Her eyes flicking from your eyes to your lips. Her body leaning slightly forward. Her breathing slowing down. These are universal signals, not just from women, but from anyone who feels drawn to someone. And when these signals align, you don't ask a logical question, you guide the moment forward with calm confidence. This doesn't mean commands or dominance. It means leadership in a moment where both people already feel the same thing. Something simple, low, calm, and warm like, "Come here," or "Come closer." Not forceful, not demanding, just steady. And importantly, you move too, closing the distance at the same pace, giving her all the space in the world to lean in or lean back. This step isn't about being bold. It's about removing the mental friction of decision-making. You're not pushing. You're inviting. And when two people already feel the same pull, the invitation feels natural, like the next breath after a long sentence. That's when the sixth lock opens. Key number 7, the master key. This final key is what separates someone who gets lucky from someone who truly forms a memorable connection. It's the moment where most men become impatient, rushed, or performance-focused. They think the connection they built entitles them to something. But real connection, real intimacy, is not about taking. It's about understanding. And the master key is simple: patience, genuine presence, and focusing on her comfort and experience first. This isn't about self-sacrifice, nor is it about strategy. It's about sending a very different message than what most people are used to. The message is, "I'm not here to win. I'm here to experience this with you." You slow down. You pay attention. You listen to her breathing, her rhythm, her cues. You're not rushing towards some goal. You're staying in the moment. This is the key that doesn't just open attraction. It creates trust. Trust is what makes someone feel safe. Safety is what deepens emotional connection. An emotional connection is what turns a fleeting moment into something unforgettable. The seventh key isn't physical at all, it's psychological. It's the moment when she understands. This person isn't trying to take from me, they're here with me. And that's what transforms a connection from memorable to meaningful. The complete map. Let's zoom out and summarize the entire blueprint. 1. The mind. You begin by seeing her as a whole person, not an object, and showing genuine interest in her thoughts and worldview. 2. The ego. You balance warmth with light challenge, showing you're not here to worship her, but to connect authentically. 3. The imagination. You use sensory storytelling to help her feel your presence even before anything physical happens. 4. The boundaries. You let comfortable, brief touch normalize closeness at a natural pace. 5. The instinct. You create subtle moments of connection that activate her deeper sense of awareness and attraction. 6. The moment. You guide instead of ask, moving with confidence when the signals are mutual. 7. The master key. You slow down, focus on her comfort, and show that connection with you is safe, patient, and intentional. These 7 keys aren't about tricks or tactics. They're about understanding how real human connection unfolds when done respectfully and consciously. Because in relationships, short or long term, people don't remember lines. They remember how you made them feel. They remember the atmosphere, the emotional safety, the spark, the moment. And if you can master these 7 keys, you'll understand something most people never figure out. Connection isn't something you chase. It's something you build. Now I want to hear from you. Looking back at your younger self, age 20, 30, or even just a few years ago, what's one piece of wisdom about relationships and attraction you wish you could go back and give yourself? Drop it in the comments. Let's build something valuable together. An archive of real experience and real insight.